Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm a licensed medical massage therapist and lymphatic drainage specialist here in Las Vegas. Today, I will be demonstrating MLD, manual lymphatic drainage, done with the hands on this model right here. Please follow along, and there'll be more videos to come. Thank you. So, lymphatic drainage is a very light pressure, and it's done obviously with the hands in a light pressure moving down towards the clavicle. You actually want to start around the clavicle section because that's a major drainage site. And we're basically just pushing the lymph fluid down to the drainage sites. That's the whole theory behind lymphatic drainage, is to be pushing and pulling the lymph down to the drainage sites. Now there is minor and major drainage sites. The clavicle section is a major drainage site, and the armpits, also auxiliary, known as auxiliary, are major drainage sites. It is actually better if you don't use lotion while doing lymphatic drainage. And the reason why you don't want to use lotion is because you want that pull effect. So what happens is when you use lotion, you don't get that pull effect. You don't get that friction that you actually need when you're pulling the fluid down to the drainage sites. Now, there may be some clients who are going to ask you, well, why are you not using lotion? I want lotion. And you're going to have to explain to them. You're going to basically have to educate your client on why you're not using lotion. What happens with lotion is that it slips over the pull effect. So you're not really pulling the fluid down properly to the drainage sites. All right, we got a bunch of pulling action here. Neck down to the clavicle. Pulling from the shoulders to the clavicle. And then we're moving to the sternum. There is actually a lot of lymph nodes around the sternum. Now, the sternum is a tricky one, obviously, because of the clients. There's obviously breasts there, okay? So you want to just be careful with the sternum because there's just kind of move up and down like I'm doing. If you guys can take a look, you see how I'm just kind of activating the sternum lymph nodes. We're pushing and we're pulling the lymph fluid to the minor and major drainage sites. So again, remember the major drainage site is right here in the armpits. You want to do some light palpitation in the actual armpits to wake up the lymphatic system there and open the lymph nodes and basically get a better flush. So we're waking everything up. We're pushing and pulling the fluid to the drainage site so it can drain naturally through the urine. And then when you're done, I like to personally do a nice few light strokes like this, just kind of pushing everything up towards the drainage sites. It also feels really good to the client, and the client really likes it. And you're just gonna do the same thing on the front of the arm, like this. And lightly push everything up. After you do your slower MLD strokes like this, This feels very nice and relaxing for the client. Again, just make sure the pressure is light because the lymphatic system is very superficial right underneath the skin. And that's the arm. So as you guys see in the chart, there is a line right here above, right in the belly button area where it sections off the upper portion and the lower portion. Okay, the reason why it does this is because you're gonna be pushing from the belly button down to the major drainage sites of the lower body, which are right here in the hip area. These are the inguinal nodes right here in the hip area. So you're gonna be going belly button down, pushing and pulling the lymph to the inguinal nodes. God bless you. Okay, so this is a live show, everyone, and a live model. Okay, so belly button down and then belly button up. Belly button down, belly button up. Okay, now the reason is because now you're pushing the lymph to the armpits. Belly button up to the armpits, belly button up to the armpits. Belly button down to the inguinal nodes in the hips, down to the inguinal nodes in the hips, okay? So we'll be going like this, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling, like this. And again, you can use circular motions, half circle motions to kind of bring it around and over. Now in the belly button, the stomach area, there is superficial channels and deeper channels. So in the stomach area, you will be using a softer pressure and then a slightly deeper pressure. Now keep in mind, none of this should hurt at all. You should not be going so deep that it hurts, right? Right now we're working on the superficial in the stomach area. And we're pulling and we're dragging. We're pulling and we're dragging, and then we're pushing everything up towards the major drainage sites in the armpits. So you can go ahead and put your arm up here, that's fine. So we're pulling and dragging, pulling and dragging. Now, for someone who might be post-op, you're gonna want to do a lot of work on the stomach, especially if they had a tummy tuck or lipo. Okay, so I like to palpate in the hip area where the inguinal nodes are, light palpitations. What I'm doing is I'm waking up the lymph nodes and the lymph channels by doing some light palpation here. I'm now doing a little bit of deeper work, getting into the deeper system here. Pulling towards the drainage sites in the hips. Pulling towards the drainage sites in the hips. And obviously you're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. I'm gonna do this other side right here. Okay, so here we go. Belly button, out and up, belly button, down, belly button, out and up, out and up. And we're pushing everything towards the auxiliary armpits. Push, push, push. Okay, now we're gonna push and go down, push and go down, push and go down. And the same thing, we're gonna wanna palpate the hip area where the inguinal nodes are right in here. So we'll do lighter palpitations. There is a lot of lymph nodes and channels in the stomach area. So I kind of like to palpate all in the stomach area. It just wakes everything up and gets your system activated to start flushing. And then we're going down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. And that's all being flushed out in the major and minor drainage sites. So it's basically here and this way. And do a few final strokes like this. Some people like to do a little bit of digestive work, but I think it's best to keep it just focused on the lymphatic when someone wants a lymphatic session. That is the stomach section. Working on the lower section of the body, the feet and the legs. Same concept. You're gonna be dragging and pulling to the drainage sites. Light pressure, dragging and pulling, dragging and pulling, dragging and pulling. And we're going up towards the hip area. Major drainage sites in the hip area right here. So you want to push it up there into the drainage sites. Now, Bella has really high hips, so some clients you might have to just go a little bit further to get it there to where you want. Right in here. Usually the next day, clients report feeling like a little hungover. If they have a lot of toxins in their system, they might report feeling hungover if they're releasing a lot. Now, clients who are super healthy, they may just feel lighter and cleaner and healthier. So the symptoms will vary on client to client, and it'll all depend on that client's personal health and how healthy they are or toxic they are. Okay, so you get the idea. Now you'll want the client to go like this, just raise their leg a bit, and then you will actually be doing the back of the legs, the lower parts, the calves like this. And you'll be pushing and pulling the lymph towards one of the minor drainage sites, which is the back of the knee. That's a minor drainage site. So we're just lightly kind of cupping and scooping like this. And bringing it to the drainage site. Now the body drains all of the excess fluid naturally through the kidneys and the urine. So any excess fluid and toxins will come out naturally through the kidneys and the urine. So if your client has to pee right away, right after a session, that's actually a really good sign. That means you did a really good job. And that often happens when you're doing lymphatic drainage. And then you'll just advise your client to drink plenty of water so they can flush out any remaining toxins out of the system. It's kind of like a scooping technique. And you'll do this on the other side as well. Like so. All right, well, that's the front of the body for manual lymphatic drainage. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.